The Podcast 1700 block. I'm your host, Lamont. Welcome back. We had a good weekend. Couple good parties. I meant to bring y'all the information, but I got caught up. I was outside in them streets, so I apologize. Um, Martin Luther King Day birthday, born day. Well, your born day would be your birthday, right? I thought so. So everybody talking about Martin. So I guess I gotta talk about it too, right? Little chapstick, lips little ashy over here doing a lot of talking. Um, excuse me. Welcome to the podcast 1700 block. Me host of month. You missing somebody? Welcome to this thing called life, and welcome to It's Gonna Get Better in Time, slowly in time. You gonna have some good days, you gonna have some bad days, man. But you're gonna have some days, and it is possible to function and miss somebody at the same time. And if you need if you need some help, if you need some guides, or if you need somebody to talk to, seek help, man, because it really can help you. Well, say man, but it's not just man, doesn't necessarily mean male, but I'm just so used to saying it. So, get some help, outside help, inside help. Talk to somebody, man, if you're having a bad day. Let somebody know how you feel at all times, if possible, because you can't get no help inside, outside help, or empathy, or people just call you. When you let people know how you're doing, and they will call you and check on you. And a lot of times people ask you how you doing, not because they being nosy, just because they concerned um, about your well-being and your health, your mental state, your physical state. So reach out and let somebody help. So it's Martin's birthday. Um, so let's talk about Martin a little bit. All right. So beyond the iconic speech that Martin had, he was born. He was born Michael King. Um, he entered college at 15. He was jailed 30 times. He survived a 1958 stabbing record. Um, he survived in 1958 stabbing, recorded for Motown, Love Star track, initiated the Poor People's Campaign, a laser known but vital later life focused on economic justice, all the while becoming the only non-president with a national holiday and memorial. So the president tried to take, eliminate, erase, ignore, forget, dismantle, get rid of, destroy his holiday, but he couldn't do it. But he tried, just couldn't happen. He changed his name to Michael Jr., but his father changed his name to Martin Luther after visiting Germany and administering a protested reform. So his father actually changed his name. So his father changed his name, right? If you ain't know that. He skipped grade. He entered Morehouse College. He was only 15 when he went to Morehouse. So he definitely was a scholar. He was a scholar. He graduated with a degree in sociology, in case you ain't know that. Right? Um, Smoker. King had a private smoking habit, often hidden cigarettes from his children. So he smoked. I mean, big deal. He was a huge fan of Star Trek, telling actors, uh, Nicole Nicholas, the show was vital for blacks representation, and that His family watched it even stand up past bedtime. Now you gotta remember, um, they did a lot to him. So I don't know how they watched television because they was constantly harassing him, bombing his house, firebombing his house, um, burning crosses and curtains on in the front yard. Like they life was miserable, man. It was, and he stuck to the task at hand. So at one point it says he was jailed 30 times, and then another time it say he was assaulted frequently. He was jailed 29 times. Somebody say 29, somebody say 30. Don't nobody know but him, and he not here. So um sometimes they jailed him on major charges. Most of the time it was some BS. They just wanted to stop him, harass him. So whenever I would do right, evil was always present. So gonna get pressure, gonna get opposition. You're gonna get people who don't like you, who don't support you for your cause. They could be the same color, they could be a different color. Um, it just depends. Everybody just not gonna like you. What you think is right, some people just gonna think wrong. Um, he wrote a letter, famous defending nonviolent resistance while he was in prison in Birmingham. So he wrote that letter while he was in Birmingham, while he was in the jail. And he was running the Poor People's Campaign. That was near the end of his life. He launched this ambitious project to unite poor people of all races and economic justice. Um, that was part of the civil rights movement. He did that. So just a couple facts that you probably didn't know. He did some stuff with Motown. Um, he did some stuff with Motown. I had a call over here. Gotta let him know I'm on DA. Hold on. Sit tight. He did some stuff for Motown, man, and most people don't know that he did something for Motown. Tell him I hit him back. I can't get in there. Hold on. I ain't the smartest guy in the party. Um, That's some friend of mine in distress, and I'm trying to help. And I'm just trying to do what I can. Phones are goofy. I'll hit you back. So he did some stuff with Motown recording artists, released an album of his speeches, going to Southern Christian Leaders Conference. So they did some stuff with his speeches and with his voice. And so it was on Motown. Um, his Nobel Peace Prize, he was 35. He was the youngest person to receive a Nobel Peace Prize. He was 35. That's why Trump wants so bad. He's just a clown. He always wants shit that he don't qualify for. You know what I mean? He's just a bum. Um, in 1958, he stabbed a mentally ill woman. She stabbed him with a letter opener at the book signing. He later revealed that the blade missed his arteries by a millimeter, a millimeter. That just kept saying if he would have sneezed, he would have died. That's where that phrase come from. So just a couple things that you probably ain't know about Martin. We kind of know where he came from. We kind of know what his mission was. Um, he had a lot of speeches in a We Shall Overcome. That was just one speech. Um, I went to the mountaintop. That was just one speech. And that mountaintop speech, if I recall, he was asked to come to a church, to a meeting, and he wasn't actually speaking, and he wasn't going to go, and they called him up, and that's how that speech came about. Like, he really wasn't even going to speak, or even he got that lady came through the back, but he wasn't going to speak like that. And so that was just something that really came about, because that speech was like, he was in a lower church, and I don't even think it was a lot of people, but he was in a church, and I think it was like a community meeting or something. It wasn't a big deal or nothing. I think one of them speeches, he was in a church. It was a little small church, like community meeting. And he was invited. Um, and he wound up speaking about it. Um, Martin did a lot of great things. He did a lot of good things um, for a lot of people. Um, Racism is never going to stop. It's always going to be here. Um, and it was terrible, man. Like, the boycott was terrible, Jack. It was bad. And they talk about us killing each other. I try not to get into that. I think we should do or can do a better job, man, because you got white folks trying to kill us. You got the president trying to make sure our ass don't eat, don't live, and don't breathe. And then you got us food and fucking each other up. Like, we can't live like this, right? So, I don't know what the beef is about. I swear I try not to get into competitions with nobody, man. And I try to stay off that negative vibe, but it was just something that it's been on my mind because, you know, we and I believe in time that we will, and it's not that we don't come together. I mean, we're not always shooting at each other, and we're not the only people. The media always paint the picture that we hate each other, and they always show us hurting each other, but they never show, other stuff that other national people, other nationalities do to each other, how they hurt each other. I just want us to stop hurting each other, like, for real. Um, So I try not to get into that because that's not my mission. My mission ain't to talk about nobody and what they do. That ain't not my mission. So I don't do that platform. I just pray that we all get along and come together as one and help each other. That be my only mission, man. Anything outside of that, I try not to touch. I mind my business and keep my mouth on myself. Um, racism is the root of racism. It stems from different religion and missions, Christianity and global acceptability of owning those of a different faith. It was acceptable in Christians to have non-Christians, um, acceptable to have non-Christian slaves, Muslims, to be non-Muslim slaves and African people to own others from enemy tribes. So if me and you, we tribes, and I capture you, then you be my slave. So in other words, they saying that's where it came from, but I don't know why. And if I get a chance to get on WEAA, I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go sit down and talk to Dr. K because I need Dr. K or my man. I got a homeboy of mine. He really knows about a lot. Um, and I might have to sit down and ask him because even though I did some reading and a couple people explained it to me, I don't know why them people just don't like us. I swear, man. I don't know why, but it's a couple documentaries, and the sad part about it is that they only get into Black history around February. Some people really study it, right? But racism uh, in this when it was segregated and when Martin was doing all it was terrible, man. I swear. And if you look at what's happening now, it's the same thing that's trying to take place. It's the exact same thing, man. It's the exact same thing. So you gotta be careful because they coming for people, man. Um, so any individual can be negatively judged by someone for their in the actions, qualities, and ideas that some individuals can't by um, virtue of their race, be a victim of racism, and racism by definition. So it has nothing to do with color. It's nothing to do with color. If you white people don't like white people, black people don't like black people. Racism is taught. It's not born. Somebody sneeze on you, you can't get it. Um, Most Afro Americans they raise white children, man. They drink our white black woman's breast milk. They breastfed them. They fed them. They breastfed them. They sent their tail to school. They read books to them. No, most white children was raised by black women because the white woman they didn't do shit for their children. So we was always intelligent and smart. We read to them. We taught them how to use the pot, all of that. We picked them up from school. We brought them in the house when the school bus let them off. We brought them in the house. We cleaned their house. We cooked for them. We cleaned for them. They ass is really dumb, for real. To be honest with you. So if you look at the scope of it and really look at are the most intelligent ones, if you get somebody to take care of your children and your husband and feed them and breastfeed them and wash their clothes and on, they couldn't have been that smart because they ain't learned nothing. Because the Afro-American male and woman, we did it all. We raised their children. We raised their food. We had our own farms. We had our own towns. They came and took them. We were our own people, and they burnt it all down. And then they put the narrative here that we hate each other, so we can try and kill each other. All that's not really working no more. But they put it here, put drugs here. They brought it in our community. It's something about um, us that they fear. When you fear somebody, you try to eradicate them, try to get rid of them. You don't want them around. You always got something negative to say about them. You're always trying to take them down. Never trying. If you ever notice, they never try to build us up. They always try to tear us down. So you had to look at that. What's going on in Minneapolis is the same thing. The Black Panthers are where? So the Black Panthers never left, but they back strong like they was. So it's a different day, and something definitely gonna happen. And it's gonna be some bloodshed. And because once you start going after them brothers, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get real ugly. And my man say ain't nothing can be done. There's more people in the world than it is ICE. You gotta understand that. There's more people in the world with guns than just 3,000 people, 3,000 soldiers at ICE. There's more people in the world than that. So I think it's a movement with them and it's a movement with us. Cause if we ever link up like we really starting to do, we're gonna be unstoppable. It's really gonna be terrible. Um, so that's kind of like my piece with that. Um, to go back to the racism piece in Minneapolis, because I don't want us to forget that we still in the power struggle with this racism thing, man. It's listen, people jobs been taken. Thank God that I'm gonna survive. I'm going to. I'm just not afraid. I'm gonna survive. I ain't think I was gonna be in the place of my life that I'm in now. So anything beyond this is a blessing. I'm gonna ride with it. I promise you, I'm gonna ride with it and I'm gonna come out on top. But racism stems from a mixed individuals, bias, prejudgment, scapegoating, a system issue including, now this was going on in Minneapolis, historical power imbalance, discriminatory laws, biased media, segregated housing, all reinforced by social structure that favors one group, creating ingraining inadequacies and inadequacies, that's spelt wrong, iniquities in education, justice, and wealth, and um, racism through both overt acts and passive acceptance. So, meaning that they always want to be in the position to win. And whenever they get to the point where they think they're not gonna win, they start cheating, like the election, gerrymandering. They got this thing where they want the white folks to always be here, and they want to be in power because they think they're entitled, and nobody else don't supposed to be here. That's a part of the Klan. That's a part of that white power stuff. My thing is that we don't care if y'all here or not. We just want y'all to leave us alone. We don't care. We don't mind sharing the earth with y'all. We ain't trying to kill y'all. We just trying to make sure that it's equal. That's it. So the Black Panther Party has never been violent. If we not violent. We just want you to know, like, we ain't messing with you. We ain't coming for you. Stop coming for us. They thing was, the Klan thing was, we want you to stay in your place. Our thing was, but we not. So they had 4 rules. Um, the last one was they kill you. The third one was, no, I think they tell you something. Then they burn the cross. After they burn the cross, they firebomb your house and shoot at you. After they do that, it's like they next time they come, they try and kill you. So it was like 4 rules. It was like 4 warnings you had. I think by the time they burned the cross, I think the next time they came back, they would shoot your house up, firebomb your house, man, burn your house down. Like, it was terrible, man. I swear it was terrible. So when you decide that we can't get along, man, just think about all the people that fought so we could try to get along with each other. Yeah. Sometimes we not gonna get along with each other, yeah, but we don't gotta take each other off the face of the earth. Lord have mercy. If we don't get along with somebody, we just don't get along. And sometimes, a simple argument can turn into, and somebody can lose their life. We just gotta work on that. So you have passing justice, slavery created deep-seated power structure and radical for the present day. Then you have a system that positions some groups to inherently superior over more diversity, empowering them over others. So white folks, they think they're entitled. They think they're in power over everybody. You got some Africans that don't really, people say they don't get along with us. Then you got, the world is fine. It's just the people. The people just a mess, man. You got social learning. You got media. Of course, you got a power struggle. You'll see that now. You got some static racism, environmental racism, economic. So, it's different. It's different kinds of racism. It's like 10 of them. It's 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, it's 10 of them. Environmental, institutional, just the name of fruit, media, scapegoating, social learning, upbringing, power, historical. So it's a couple different kinds of racism, like and then you have some racism that's hidden. It's hidden. People think they get along with you and say shit behind your back, man. Try to mess your life up. Um, so that's my take on the racism piece. Didn't want to stay there too long. I just wanted to visit it for a second. Um, let's go to this because this is my last time because I'm really like that. So, um, if you didn't know, it's a research in Antarctica about the glaciers. So the glaciers they melt, um, and so they never did this research before. So the Antarctica and the glaciers, I think they've been there for like I think it's like 70 researchers that's going on right now. But PBS, I like PBS. I watch a lot of PBS. They try to get rid of PBS. Some of PBS stuff they did get rid of. Some of it's coming back. And it wasn't so much they got rid of it. What happened was they didn't send the money so they could, run a new program. They helped their money up by executive order. Now, money that has been allocated already by the feds, you have to give them to them. You can hold it up all you want to, and you can run the executive order. Don't go into effect until 30 days. Executive order is not law. It's really not law. It's got to be signed in the law, and then it's supposed to be voted on. So you can hold up certain stuff in the chamber. You could just hold it up. It has to be voted on. We still have a check and balance system, and I know it doesn't seem like it, but we do. So when the president say he gonna stop certain stuff, he can hold it up. He can send it in different ways where it takes so long, but somebody still has the last say. So it's a mess. The Republicans has clearly gave him power that he doesn't have. So they gave him power that he does. Congress has the power. And Congress cannot turn the power over to the president. It seems like they can, but they can't. They can give him leeway. He can threaten them. He can make them scared, but everything comes to an end. It'll come to a head. It will. I promise. Don't seem like it, but it will. And, Martin said it the best. We'll overcome. We've been here before. We've been here before. This ain't really nothing new, the stuff we've been through. Matter of fact, I believe that when racism was at its form, it was even, if worse is a word, but I think it was more challenging than it is now because a lot of stuff that was going on then, they was bombing people's houses, burning people's stuff down, man. It was a mess. When they had parades like we couldn't go, they had a white section and they had the best seats and it was roped off for us. You had to call police, sir, and yes, sir, master, and all that old. It was white restaurants. It was black restaurants. You would pay to get on the front of the bus because you had to get on at the back. Sometimes the bus would pull off and you would miss the bus. It was a lot of restaurants you couldn't go in, man. They wouldn't serve you. They called you the N-word. They called you nigger and all of that. Spit in your face, knock you up for no reason. Couldn't even look white people in their face. You had to hold your head down when they came along because, they would say stuff like, what you staring at me and all that. So it was a mess, man. And I think our children need to know that. Our young people need to understand that people died for us to get along with each other, and we should get along with each other. I know it's hard to get along with people sometimes. I know it is. I swear I know it is. So I had to say that because it's Martin's birthday, man. And I was and I always tend to forget like how them people struggle, man, how them people couldn't eat, and how them people relied on each other, and how they fought so hard to the point where they was willing to die for what they believe in. And a lot of people actually died for what they believe in. Dogs, the fire hoses. That was just half of it. I mean, that wasn't even half of it. People got stabbed, people got shot, people got drugged, people got hung, people got beat every day, all day long, man. People got raped. They cut people's penises off. They raped our women. Yeah, they treated them bad. A couple women got hung. You know, children got hung. Kids got burnt up in their houses. Yeah, people was homeless, man. It was a mess. It was a whole mess. And sometimes I don't really think we understand how hard it really was. It was hard, man. It was hard. You go home one day and come home. I mean, you go outside and come home and your house just straight burnt down. Everything you worked for burnt down. Your whole community burnt down. Your store burnt down. Your everything. Your kids burnt. You know, they burnt houses and kids got burnt. Farmers got burnt. Whole families got burnt. You know, they minimized the story, but it was a tough time, man. And they were to the point where they couldn't fight back because it was nonviolence. Now, you ain't gonna be able to get away with the nonviolent stuff too much in the black community. Now, you know, I don't know how that's gonna work. That might don't work too good for us because we probably ain't gonna just lay down like that. You got a couple people who will, but you got some people that, yeah, okay, yeah, and you know what yeah mean, all right. So, in the Nova in the Antarctica extreme, so they learning about the media because it's melt, and so because it's melt, it's about the size of Florida. And so, because it's melting, they trying to find out if it's melting at a high rate, a medium rate, or alarming rate. So they there. It's a team of like 70 of them, and they in the cutter and they in the glacier. So if you really want to watch it, it's on PBS. I would watch it. I mean, I'm encouraging you to watch it, right? It's on PBS. Um, it's the Nova Antarctica Extreme. It's the news hour segment. It's a learning media research focusing on climate change, impact, melting glacier, ice core, popular science, extreme environment, and its logistic challenges of living and working and researching in the glacier. And it's really, really good, man. And so it talks about climate control. So on PBS News Hour, and talks about climate control. The glacier is like the size of Florida. So what they actually gonna do is they drill a hole in the ice with hot water, and they use hot water and they drill inside the ice, and then they put this scope in the water, and it figures out the long term, the short term, where it's coming from. So the water is smacking up against the glacier, which means it's melt from the bottom. Because most time glaciers, they melt from the bottom. So it's warm water coming somewhere. So the warm water is coming and it's affecting the glacier, and they can't find out where the warm water coming from. So it's melting. And when it melts, it'll raise sea level, which means something going to flood or something going to overflow. And so it's really interesting how they do it, man. I think it's a crew of 70. They carry 2 helicopters. Everything is on their phone, man. Basic satellite. They in touch with everybody over in the world. And it's a kitchen, it's a galley, you know, a scientist on there. They working around the clock. They putting stuff in the water. They got data. And they run a robot across the glacier all the way out. And it's this big information system. They run a robot across the glacier and they drag the information system across it. And so the information system, it takes data while they dragging it across the ice. It's really, it's really, it's next level stuff if you're a scientist. I just like different stuff. I've always liked PBS because it's just extreme. But it's something that can broaden your horizon. I think you should let the young people watch it because they should know climate control is real. This administration, they don't believe that. That's why we got a daggone flu epidemic going around and the measles epidemic because we got a knucklehead that's not a scientist, that's not a doctor, saying that vaccinations aren't good for you. And that's a lie. Um, some chlorides aren't good for your teeth. Johnson and Johnson has a bunch of lawsuits against them, which I think you should check out. But nevertheless, that's a whole nother conversation. So I think you should check that out on PBS. It's the PBS News Hours, the regular report for the research vol, the insight, a scientific and glaciers melt and the ice core data. So it gives the ice core data and it tells like what's really going on. It's really good, man. I think you should. Good program. A good program. So that's just a really good program right there. Hold on, because I lost my page right there. Um, so I think you should, if you have young people, if you got young people, I think you should watch that because that's a really good episode, man, and they can learn a lot from that right there. It's real interesting, and it's good for grown-ups. You know what I mean, it's good for us. Yesterday, football was amazing, man. I'm a Seattle Seahawk fan. People talking about I've been a Seahawk fan for a minute, so I was good. Because we haven't always had a football. Baltimore hasn't always had a football team. So when we ain't had no team for real, I was a Seattle Seahawk fan, man. And then it's still my team. So Los Angeles, they beat Chicago 2017 in overtime. It was a classic. It was a great game, but the Bears should have won that game. They had that game in the bag, man. They made some bad plays. They dropped a lot of balls, fumbles, interceptions. It was crazy. They should have won that game. They had the game. They only needed to beat by 3. They just kicked the ball. They was already in field goal range. And then the Patriots defeated Houston 28-16. And the Texans, they had them. They had them in the bag. They did the same thing. Drop balls, fumbles, interceptions. It was all right when you was playing Pittsburgh. You can get away with that. Not that Pittsburgh a bad team, but I just think that the Texans was a little better than Pittsburgh. And then, a lot of people was hurt on both sides of the field. And the Texans lost some pretty good players in that game, man. But still, they had the bag in the game and they dropped the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see, how this thing going to play out, man. It was good games yesterday, Jack. So football doesn't come back till Sunday. And they the last 4 teams that play Sunday. And after Sunday, it's the Pro Bowl and then the Super Bowl. So only 4 teams left now. So it was 8. So now it's 4. So after this Sunday, then we'll see. We'll see where the Super Bowl. I think that's how I go. It might be one game after that. Anywho. Yeah, man. Yeah. So the Ravens ain't playing, so you ain't gotta worry about that. And Pittsburgh ain't playing, you ain't gotta worry about that. And so Lamar Jackson still got time on this contract. So a lot of people's telling me, oh, they're gonna get rid of Lamar. They can't, they won't. He the franchise quarterback. They're not gonna get rid of him. I wouldn't get rid of him if I was in the position. I wouldn't get rid of him. I think they done great and got rid of the key people that they really need to get rid of. I think they just need to rebuild. Kind of glad that they're not in a hurry to get a new quarterback. I mean, a new coach, because it's no rush. The season don't start till next year. You know, take your time, see who out there. And yeah, your boy John Harbaugh, he went to the Giants. They get suck $1 million now, and Baltimore still on 34. Lamar Jackson, still has it. He has a big question. He how long he gonna stay? Well, he has a no clause, so they can't get rid of him because he has this thing in his contract where they can't get rid of him. He got a no clause in his contract. So he gonna stay. So, they talk about now his real negotiation, it runs through 27, right? He has, I looked it up earlier. His contract was so Lamar contract was for, I think Lamar, what was his contract for? His cap is 74 point. His cap is like 74.5 million cap figure for the 2026 season. He's injured. He had an injury in 2025. That was his ankle and his knee. A significant back. His back is still hurting because he got injured for his back in 2025. Let me see. Let me see. Lamar Jackson's contract. Let's see what's left on it. His contract is he under the contract now for 5 years. It was $260 million, extended through. He signed it in 23 for $260 million. He the highest paid player at that time. He was. So of that 260, he got 185. He got 185 million guaranteed. The average value of AA. 52 million of his contract is running through 2027. But he carries a massive 74.5 million salary cap through 26 and 27. So his contract is technically not up until 27. It's a 5-year. It run through 27. Total value is 260 million. Average annual is 52 million. The total guarantee is 185 million. Fully guaranteed and sign-on bonus was 135 million. And he got a sign-on bonus for 72 million. 2026, his cap hits 74.5 million. His cash earnings is 52 million. That's his base salary workout bonus. His dead cap is 86.5 million. That's just 90 million to me. The Ravens went to sign Jackson, another extension to reduce his huge 2026-27 cap. So they trying to, because they need some of that money for some other players. Is he going to take a pay cut? I slightly doubt it. Because they don't ask some white boys to take no pay cut. So why you going to ask something? I wouldn't take it. An extension would provide the team much needed cap space, sign other players, and be more active in free agency. My salary don't have nothing to do with anybody else you want to buy. If you want to buy somebody, you buy them. You got plenty of money. I'm not negotiating with you. That ain't what I came here for. So, people talk about he can be traded. Is they gonna get rid of him? They can't get rid of him. And I'm gonna tell you why. He has a no trade clause. His deal includes a no trade clause and prevents him from being franchised tag in the future. So for all you non-Raven people listening to the media, he cannot be traded. He has to say, I want to be traded to get traded. So that's where we at. Lamar Jackson currently under contract to Baltimore Ravens on a 5-year for $260 million deal. It was signed in 2023. Same thing I just read you. $60 million a year, 260 extension. It's the same thing. So it ran out at the end of this year. So at the end of this year, we'll see. So this year, which is 26, he gonna earn 51. His base is gonna be his workout bonus is gonna be $750,000. His base salary is gonna be $51,250,000. His workout base is gonna be $75,000. He'll carry a cap of $74,500. And he'll be capped off in the deal cap value of $86,500. $86,005,000. It's a nice little paycheck. It's a nice. So, he gonna be all right. He gonna be fine. He gonna be fine. He gonna stay. He gonna be good. He gonna get healthy. And we gonna try to see what happens next year. Well, it will next season, because it won't be next year. It just be the next season. So we're gonna try to hang in there and just kind of like see what happens, man. So with that being said, something going on over here. So with that being said, man, like I've been on here long enough. I like to thank y'all for tuning in, supporting me in the podcast 1700 block. Trying to get y'all chat window up on this side. I'm still having some complications. But I'm gonna call my homeboy when I'm out of town, when I'm out the country, but I'm gonna call my other one and see if we can't fix that. I might come back and be in the green room tomorrow. So if I come in the green room, y'all could chime in. Or I might go on my other platform and see. All right, but I kind of like this platform. I really do. This is my spot right here. So thanks for tuning into the podcast 1700 block. I'm your host, Mark. I'm the last guy you saw the last time. I'm gonna be the next guy you see the next time. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. And thanks for tuning in.